What's going on, everyone? If you're watching this, you already understand how important it is to stay informed, especially in a market like the Inland Empire. Because when you understand what's actually happening, you naturally make better decisions. And that's what I do. Every month, I break down the national data and translate it into real-world strategy for Inland Empire buyers and sellers. Because California plays by its own rules. And if you understand the rules, you win! Mortgage rates have gone from shock to opportunity. And let's talk about what everyone felt when this happened. Rates moved from 3% in 2021 to over 7% in 2023. And when payments jumped by over $1,000 a month, buyers understandably paused. For many buyers, it felt like the dream home suddenly came with an extra car payment attached. But notice what's happening now. Mortgage rates are hovering in the low 6% range, the lowest levels we've seen in roughly 3 years. It's not 3%, but not panic territory either. And here's why that shift is powerful. A 1% point drop in mortgage rates expands the national buyer pool by about 5.5 million households. 5.5 million more buyers. And that's not a small shift. That's a Costco on a Saturday shift. And as rates soften, buyer demands begin to expand. And when you hear that, you can start to see why timing matters. Because when demand increases, properly positioned homes move. And strategic buyers gain leverage before the crowd fully returns. And if you want to help us be strategic, then like and subscribe. It helps us reach more people and tells us what you want to see more of. California isn't the Midwest. Nationally, affordability is improving. The Housing Affordability Index has climbed back above 100, meaning median income qualifies for a median-priced home. Nationally, California plays differently. Only about 16.9% of Western counties are more affordable to buy than rent. And that's the cost of sunshine, proximity to opportunity, and limited inventory. The share of income spent on home purchase is trending downward from peak levels. And remember, 30% of income is considered affordable, which means when you're navigating the Inland Empire, you can't rely on national headlines. You need local strategy. And when you look at Riverside, Moreno Valley, Paris, and San Bernardino closely, you begin to see pockets of opportunity forming. And is the crash coming? This is a question I hear constantly. And here's what the data shows. Price growth has moderated. We're no longer seeing 18 to 20% appreciation spikes. We're seeing low single-digit growth. And that's healthy because stability builds confidence. And confidence fuels movement. When you recognize that prices are stabilizing, not collapsing, you can decide based on logic instead of fear. The shift most people are missing. And here's what stat I love. Wages are projected to grow faster than home prices in 2026. When incomes rise faster than prices, affordability gradually restores itself. Not overnight, but steadily. And as you understand that shift, you can begin to see how today's market rewards people who act strategically rather than emotionally. Are buyers actually coming back to the market? And the answer is yes. When rates dip, buyer activity rises. We're already seeing demand trend upward, especially in more attainable Inland Empire markets like Moreno Valley, Paris, San Bernardino, and parts of Riverside. And here's what most sellers don't realize. You don't need 3% rates to sell successfully. You need qualified buyers. And those buyers are watching rates closely. When rates drop even slightly, they move quickly. And the question becomes, will you be positioned correctly when they do? So what's all this mean to you? Let's simplify it. Rates are lower than their recent peak. Affordability is improving nationally. Wage growth is helping. Buyer demand is rising. Prices are stabilizing, not crashing. For buyers, this is a strategic window, not a frenzy, not a collapse, a window. And when you recognize a window, you can choose to move before it closes. For sellers, waiting for 3% rates again may require a time machine, but today's market still rewards properly priced, well-positioned homes especially when guided by someone who understands how demand moves before it headlines. And that's the role I play. The market shift, headlines change, but strategy remains constant. My role is simple: help you see what others miss, help you evaluate timing clearly, help you make decisions confidently. Because when you work with someone who studies these patterns every month, you automatically reduce uncertainty. And when uncertainty drops, clarity increases. So whether you're buying, selling, or simply preparing, reach out. Let's look at your situation specifically. And as you do, you may start to realize that the best decisions aren't made when the market feels perfect. They're made when you understand it. Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time.